Sweet.
Sweet. All right,
Awesome.
man. Well, I'm excited to talk to you, man. I'm really impressed with everything you've done. Just jumping on Tabletop Jocks, editing for you. But I like to know the backstory, your hero's journey, I should say. Like, where'd your passion for Magic come from? When were you first introduced to it?
So I got introduced to Magic by a friend in college, randomly back in Michigan. We were working at this company called the Air Zoo, but it was kind of like a Disneyland for airplanes. And we, as actors, got hired to do this this aviation thing where we had to dress up like old aviators and walk around the park and do a monologue. And it was really pointless, but we got paid really, really well. And we had a lot of downtime. So basically, during the downtime, I learned how to play Magic and World of Warcraft in that same summer. Obviously, I wasn't dating anyone at the time, so I had a lot of free time to learn stuff. But I picked it up, and I, fast forward to a few years, my local game store, a bunch of people were in there playing Commander, and I learned how to play that, and because I was playing Standard at first, and then Standard rotated, and I was like, what? These cards don't mean anything anymore. And what is this? I'm not going to spend more money. Like, this is ridiculous. So my buddy was like, hey, you're play Commander. Most of the cards don't get, rotated out. So, you'll have a lot more longevity with these. And then, I went on game nights, and I didn't know what it was at the time. And then, people were like, yeah, you should do your own show. So yeah, then the rest is history.
Wow, very cool. What year was you first discovered it? Because I remember started playing it, I think 93 when I was in middle school, and it seems like the game has changed quite a bit since then, But yeah, man, my friends and I would go to the mall every Friday night. Then we'll go back to one of my buddy's place and put anime on and play Magic all night. And no idea how much we had it made back then.
That sounds like a typical Friday night for me now too. So you started in the golden age. If you still got some cards sitting around from that time, you might have some.
They're somewhere in my parents' house. The only card I do remember was like a guardian angel chick that had like huge knockers on her, and then I did get a rare Lord. It was like a swamp one, but it had like this demon looking one. I used to love it. Yeah.
No, that's. I'm pretty sure if you went through some cards, you'd probably be surprised at some of the prices on those things, because those are super expensive cards when they came out. I mean, they're expensive now, but I started playing around, I think, when Ravnica first came out, the original Ravnica, and then that's when I learned how to play. Around the time Kamigawa was phasing out original Ravnica, and then now we just went back to Kamigawa recently, about 2 months ago. So it's kind of cool how we kind of introduced ourselves back to these old places, and it was actually a really good set. I had a really good time with that one, and I did the promos for Streets of New Capenna, which was really cool. Wizards and I have been working on stuff with each other since last year. We developed a relationship last year. I did when they did the Magic and D&D crossover set, Forgotten Realms. I did a commercial for them then, and it kind of just, we've been working together ever since. It's been really cool to do some wizard stuff, like official.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that's impressive about your channel, and we'll get into your upcoming celebrity guests, but you've had a lot of celebrities come and play, which is pretty cool. You just no idea a lot of people are dorks like us and play Magic, So you had the guy that played Ghost Rider on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I loved, and the one Cladis, or the football player guy.
Cash
Cards Unlimited.
Yep. Cash Cards Unlimited. Yep.
Yeah. Very cool. So how'd you come across all these people?
It's funny.
And name everybody else you got. I forgot to mention.
No, it's all good. I met Andrew Dismukes from SNL. Like we're buddies now. I actually went out there this past December to go see a live taping of SNL, because he was like, hey, just come out and then come to the after party. So just through Twitter, honestly, through Twitter and through Instagram and just like randomly just messaging people or them just seeing if they follow me and being like, this is a celebrity that just followed me. Let me write them a little message and be like, hey, do you play Magic? You know, because there's a chance that that dialogue starts to open up. And if they're in LA and they're like, yeah, actually I do. I saw you on game nights. I want to, you know, get a game in with you one day. And then the rest is history. And we just become homies.
Very cool. All right. Well, the next four, which I'm currently at 81 right now, is that you got Post Malone who's on it. You know, that's pretty epic, man. Like, and he's like super into it too. Like, seems like a really cool, chill guy too. You know.
Yes, definitely. Honestly, I ran into Post Malone at our Austin at a game store, and I remember walking into the store and I saw him buying cards, and I was like, oh, it's really cool that he's into this game, and he, you know, seems like he's really into it, and he has bodyguards around him. And I was, you know, giving him his space, and you know, just kind of like checking stuff out. And he looks over my way, and he's like, "Oh, Big Joe, what up, dog?" I'm like, "Wait, what?"
He recognized you. Oh my goodness.
I was like, "This is not happening right now. This is crazy." So, I mean, most humble dude. I walked over to him, you know, gave him a hug, and I was like, dude, it's so good meeting you. I'm a huge fan of yours. He's like, I'm a fan of yours. It starts geeking out. You know, we take a picture together, and, you know, immediately he's like, hey man, take my number down. Let's hang out. Let's, you know, because, you know, honestly, when you really break everything down, people are just people. You know, everybody can get that persona or whatever, but I mean, you treat people like people, and if we like a thing together, then we want to hang out, then yeah, that's just it. So.
Very cool. Well, you're also an actor too, man. I think it's one thing I love about watching Tabletop Jocks. Even if you're not into the Magic game, it's just the fun aspect and all the jokes you make during it, which is, it's entertaining, you know.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I've been acting. I've been out in LA for about since 2009-ish. No, 2012. That's when I like first started getting into it really hardcore. So yeah, it's been like 10 years now. So, you know, got to put that 10,000 hours in, but I have a lot of time, you know, a lot of fun time being on set. That's like one of the highlights of, you know, the show is that, you know, bringing on guests that I can mess around with and joke with, and, you know, just being on set, it just gives me a different kind of energy that I, you know, could not get anywhere else.
Yeah. No, it's fun. I was watching WWE Raw the other night, and then there you were on the screen in a commercial. You know, just that infectious laugh, just like caught my attention.
Yes, yeah, I got a couple commercials out right now, which I'm very fortunate that they're airing because over the pandemic, I booked like 6 or 7, and I can't really talk about them because they're not out, and
it was a cricket commercial, and you're in like it's like a monster truck, I believe. You know?
Yeah. That's like the latest one, and I have a Geico one out where you don't see my face, but I end up being the voice of this like shower head, giving this guy advice on what to not do on his date with this girl. So that was awesome. Really fun. But it's been a wild ride being out here, you know, being on different shows, and, you know, getting to work with some really, really awesome people. And I got to work with the late great Louis Anderson, who was honestly one of the most fun people to work with on set. So nice, so down to earth. He was like, hey, let me get a selfie with you, and I'll send it to you. And I'm like, what? I'm like, this is Louis Anderson, you know, this is so cool. Growing up watching, you know, Life with Louis and all that other stuff. So he's such a nice person, or was a nice person, you know, unfortunately he passed. But it's how it goes sometimes, you know, the good ones go.
Absolutely. So, well, cool, man. I'll wrap this up. I want you to talk about anything you got coming up, and then all your socials and links and all that good stuff.
Yeah. We got a really cool episode that I feel especially proud coming up. We're linking up with as many Black content creators as possible, and we're going to do a cookout episode. It's going to be, I think, one of the first times ever getting that many, you know, content creators in one space, so they can all, you know, and it'll be the weekend after Juneteenth. So we're kind of combining those 2 weekends to kind of celebrate that. But just, you know, black excellence in general, you know, I wanted to, the reason why I started Tabletop Jocks was to, you know, put it out there that representation does definitely matter. And
Absolutely.
if I can inspire, any other content creators that have been thinking about making a channel or thinking about, doing a thing, they're definitely welcome on my channel. I accept mostly marginalized, audiences, LGBTQ plus. That's what I'm trying to convey is that I want to get all these people who don't get to work as much in the grander scheme and give them a platform, give us a platform to go. So that's what it's all about.
All right. Well, I guess plug your social medias. I'll just reuse your lower third pop-ups. I take it Magneto is like your favorite X-Men character or Marvel.
Yes,
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Definitely. I have a whole shrine that you can't see. It's like one of those big glass cases, and it's just all Magneto stuff right here. So
that's awesome.
Probably just turn the camera. You can see it. All the Magneto stuff. Yeah,
man,
it's just like a big
so
old
pumped
shrine.
for the X-Men animated series coming back, man. That
Oh,
early
yeah.
90s stuff is still the best.
The 93 is going down. It's going down. But yeah, if you can find me on social media, on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Blackneto _, and then also subscribe to Tabletop Jocks, which is also all one word. Tabletop Jocks at Twitter and Instagram and on YouTube.
Nice, man. Well, I'm coming back out to California for San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know if you can be down there or not, but we'll definitely like to meet up.
Yes, I would love to. I actually have never been to Comic-Con. As big of a nerd as I am, I've never been. This is actually going to be my first year. I'm going to Evo. I'm just going to try to go to Gen Con, but they're at the same time. And I'm going to MTG Vegas. And also D4 randomly. So I was like, I'm going to a bunch of cons, like out of nowhere. I've never been to a con and now I'm going to a bunch. So
that's awesome. Really cons are the best.
Yeah. I can't wait, honestly. I'm gonna have a lot of fun.
All right, man. Well, keep up amazing work and we'll talk down the road.
Cool. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.